Hi, we continue with the discussion of maximum price legislation. So the government has now fixed a price for an essential commodity like rice, and you go back to our diagram. We see that in this diagram, the price at equilibrium is OP0. Suppose the maximum price legislation price was set above the equilibrium. It was set at OP1. Then forces of demand and supply are going to work on at price OP1. There is excess supply. When you're above equilibrium, there's excess supply. There'll be a downward pressure on the prices. The prices are going to come back to the equilibrium level. But if the legislation sets the ceiling of this commodity below the equilibrium price, now the price, there's going to emerge excess demand equal to KL as shown in the figure, but the price cannot move upwards due to the forces of excess demand. The price is stuck at OP2. Now consumers are happy to buy at a lower price. The poorer people are going to be able to afford these commodities better, these essential commodities better, but there is going to be a shortage. There's going to be an excess demand equal to KL, or on the x-axis equal to Q1, Q2, which means now suppliers, look at the supply curve SS, suppliers are going to be supplying OQ1, but demand is OQ2. So how do you allocate the available production, the available supply amongst all these people who are demanding more? Suppose supply is only 100 kgs of rice, but the demand is 150 kgs of rice. How do you decide whom to give and whom not to give? Some people have to go without rice because there's excess demand. How do you decide that? First, there are a couple of ways of doing it. There are three ways actually. One is first come, first serve. Ration shops have got large lines outside of the poor people. As soon as 100 kgs are over, shop shuts down. So first come, first serve. Second, allocation by seller's preferences. The seller says, I'll give it to my friends and relatives, forget about all these poor people. So the seller has a preference. He'll give it the supply to those people he prefers to supply or sell it to. And thirdly, the most specific one is called rationing. It is one of the most important methods the government of India adopts in terms of distributing certain quantities of a commodity to certain people. For example, you have people who are below poverty line, BPL people. They have ration cards. They go and show it, and every month they're entitled to 5 kilos of rice from the ration shop at this lower price. So it is easy to understand that maximum price legislation is meant for essential commodities, but it leads to rationing. And finally, what does it lead to? It leads to black markets. Now, there are certain people, middle class people, who tell this producer, see, you're allowed to sell 100 kilos, you're allowed to sell at 100 rupees a kilo. I will give you, you're allowed to sell at 50 rupees a kilo. The maximum price is at 50. Equilibrium is at 100. I will give you 80 rupees a kilo. Supply the rice to me. So this guy is now tempted. I have slightly richer consumers who are willing to pay more and take this commodity. Let me go with them. So when the government puts a maximum price legislation that producers cannot sell above that price, producers connive with richer consumers and a black market emerges, and the product is now taking place, its sale is taking place at a higher price, quietly behind the government's back. So when you have maximum price legislation, you can lead to the emergence of black markets. We come back to understand minimum price legislation in the next session. Take care and goodbye. Keep drawing your diagrams, memorizing them well. You'll crack it if you do that. Take care.